Hey yo, what's decent? I got another battle that I want to showcase to you guys. Let's go, son! I'm gonna lead off with my boy Bouffalant as he responds back with a Chansey. I'm gonna switch up because Head Charge can get a lot of recoil inflicted onto the Bouffalant if I hit something with high HP like a Chansey. Not only that, but I expect him to switch out. It is a Chansey after all, and he's not gonna really want to appreciate a Choice Banded Head Charge. Not that he knows that I'm Choice Banded as of yet, but you know, it's still a Head Charge, a physical move onto a Pokemon that is specially oriented. So now I go to my Garchomp and go for the Mega Evolution there. I go for the Dragon Claw. Doesn't do too much onto this Milotic. I figure it's going to go ahead and recover. Hence my switch out into Bouffalant just now so I can smack something up with another Choice Banded Head Charge. But I get frozen here, so I'm just going to stay in and try to go for a Head Charge. It's not really where I just thought about like switching it out and then afterwards coming in on an incoming Skull to get rid of my whole frozen status. But I didn't even need to do that because he thought out on the first turn and he's able to knock out the Milotic right there. So in comes the Hippotop. I'm gonna suspect the close combat. I mean, it's a Bouffalant. It's a huge threat, you know, despite the Intimidate and everything like that. So he's gonna switch out into his Chansey. I kind of knew that, so I'm just going to switch out, or rather I'm gonna set up the substitute because I think that he might have Ice Beam. I'm not exactly sure what kind of set this is. I've seen some Chanseys and Blissies with Ice Beam before based on my own experiences, so I'm just checking that out. And we're just gonna go for the Focus Blast here, and he's just going to recover. I really wish that I had the Pain Split here. I was like a Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Pain Split set. But that's alright. I'm just gonna return back and switch out into my Darmanitan, which is okay because he sets up the rocks. I figured this is a perfect time to kind of put Darmanitan in a range where I'll be able to set up a Zen mode. He thinks that I'm Scarf, and in this case scenario, I actually probably should have just stayed in and went for the U-turn, but I wanted to switch out because I wasn't sure if he would have wanted to stay in and go for the Shadow Ball and try to knock out my Darmanitan there. So now in comes the Rotom. I know he's gonna be compelled to go for the Vault Switch, which is perfect because I'm able to go for the Miracle and knock anything out. Damn, barring that, because that has a whole bunch of HP. I was hoping to catch something like the Gengar, but that's alright, that'll do. That's a physical tank, so a pseudo tank, I would say, so to speak. That's like mellowed down. So now in comes my Garchomp, and I'm just gonna switch out to my Bouffalant. My Bouffalant also has something like, it's like a little bit of a pseudo pivot switch onto a status move, something like that, where Rotoms are compelled to go for the Will-O-Wisp on my Choice Banded Bouffalant, not knowing that my Bouffalant actually carries Facade. I don't see a lot of Bouffalants with Facade. I mean, I don't even know if that's, I don't think that's standard. That's something that, like, I was on Pokemon Showdown, I was like, you know, if something burns my Bouffalant, I want something to hit something hard still with that particular Pokemon, and I chose Facade. So it was able to mellow down that Chansey to a lot, and I'm able to take advantage of the fact that Chansey's in here, set up a substitute. I do have enough speed investments to outspeed the Rotom, so I was expecting the Rotom switching to come in right now, and I do have enough special defense investments to have my substitute live a Vault Switch. It was just with Rotom in mind, this particular Hitmonchan, believe it or not. So now down goes the Hitmotop, and I have a substitute up for the next Pokemon. And you're gonna see that the Ice Punch doesn't really even do a lot. I mean, it's still with the Intimidate, you gotta factor in Intimidate and everything like that, but even so, it should still do a little bit more, being that I do have Iron Fist. It doesn't do anything. So I'm just gonna switch out. You guys can actually get a gauge of the placement of my EVs on this particular Hitmonchan. As I do said, I have a little bit more special defensive investments on it, but I do have a switch to deal with this Mega Pidgeot, and that will be my Assault Vest Corsola right there. Assault Vest Corsola is not gonna feel anything, so I'm just gonna go for the Miracle here. But unfortunately for me, as you guys will be able to see, I do get confused, and I do hit myself in confusion when I went for the Miracle. So now instead of going for the Miracle, I'm just going to go for the Icy Wind to lower his speed when my switch out into Garchomp comes in, so that I don't get hit with 2 Hurricanes, and he might be compelled to want to switch out to save Mega Pidgeot for a little bit later on. Not only that, but I'm able to regenerate a little bit more HP with my Corsola. I thought about it again, and I'm like, you know what, this actually might be another time for me to switch into Darmanitan, because I do have Cuss Staff, and I do want to set that up, and there's not a lot of opportunities where I can actually set up this Darmanitan here, because he has Rotom, he has Mega Pidgeot with the Hurricanes and stuff like that. Like, yo, you're completely a powerhouse, man. Darmanitan's not really doing too much if I don't play it correctly. So now I'm just gonna go into Gengar, underestimating how much that Vault Switch would have done, because I thought I would have had the Gengar there for another attack. But that's not the case, and he brings out his own Gengar. It's safe to do that now. And in comes my Darmanitan, and I'm like, good. Is that an HP where I can actually go for the Psychic? But I must have played it wrong, because I thought that the Zen mode activates when you switch it in like that. I don't even get stabbed like that, and now I'm more physically based than I am specially based, and now it's a little bit too late because now I'm in my specially based form. I go for a Vault Switch, not killing off the Demented, so I'm able to get off a nice little Psychic, but on something completely useless. Man! I wanted to use you. He goes to the Rotom again, and afterwards he's going to go for another Volt Switch, which is good because now, instead of actually having to deal with the Rotom, I can deal with something else. Rotom actually plays a good role on his team, so he can actually go for... I have like a whole bunch of physical attackers, man. I mean, I do have Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan does outspeed it, but he doesn't know that yet, and plus he has Mega Pidgeot. Doesn't really take too much damage. Now, I knock his Focus Sash down, and I was still stuck on that move for a long period of time. I'm like, do I attack again? He's Focus Sash, so do I like attack and go for like the Destiny Bond and stuff like that? Part of me wanted to set up the Stealth Rocks right there. I set up Stealth Rocks late game to lock Gengar out of the game, but now he shows me that he's Resto Chesto, which is quite alright. I'm just gonna go for another Dragon Claw. I don't care if I'm burned at this point. My whole point right now is to get as much damage on the Rotom as possible. Gengar's locked out of the game, so I would have to just worry about the Mega Pidgeot, and Corsola can handle Mega Pidgeot there. So you guys remember what I was referring to earlier when I said that my Hitmonchan has enough speed to outspeed a standard Rotom and go for the substitute before it's able to get up for a nice little Will-O-Wisp on me. So I'm able to go for the substitute, protecting myself from the burn, and then afterwards I'm able to go for the Drain Punch, thinking that I would actually knock out the Rotom. It does not do so, and Rotom is now being able to expose the Hitmonchan for what it is. There's a bunch of Pokemon up there, but not by hiding behind the substitute or anything like that. But I went for the Drain Punch here because I thought it would mess with my win condition. Now, Gengar's locked out of the game, right? So I figured I could have the Corsola deal with the Mega Pidgeot. Now I have to really worry about Gengar there. If I leave Rotom there and he goes to the rest, and it just happens to be Corsola versus Rotom in the end, I automatically lose. So I switched out the Corsola and then switched it back in this case scenario because now Pidgeot does have the No Guard, as you guys do know, so Hurricane is going to be able to finish off the Hitmonchan. So I thought by switching out into the Corsola, having to take a nice little Hurricane and then switching it back in, I'll be able to recover a little bit more HP. So now I read that he's going to go for a Roost because he did a little bit earlier. I'm just going to go for the Skull, hoping to get a burn to try to encourage him to go for an attack so I can get off a nice little Miracle. Miracle is actually my win scenario here, and oh my god, he has Hyper Beam. I automatically lose. I just lost. I was able to take a Hurricane, but I can't take a Hyper Beam. Ah! So close. That was so awesome. Yo, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor, drop a like. If you guys want to see more content like this in the future, please subscribe to me. It is awesome. My opponent came from Twitch. If you happen to be watching this video, please plug in your YouTube channel so I can go ahead and advertise you. You did an awesome job, buddy. I really appreciate your time. I will see you guys later. Peace. What you doing?